I wanted to dive into the oscilloscope here and what I'm actually looking for, so that hopefully it'll make more sense in the video after this on what I'm looking for and so forth. So let's just explain kind of the waveform here. So right now I just have a 196 hertz waveform coming through here. It's a pretty clean wave here. And to explain here, let me zoom in a little bit right here. So when I talk about frequency, it's how many of these points are within a second here. So if the frequency is like how it is now, you'll see there's so many appearing, and that's what the hertz is. But as the frequency gets higher, so you get a higher note, these waveforms will actually get scrunched in closer together, so there'll be more a second. But as you get to a lower note, like more in bass notes, they'll get farther apart. So let's do an example here. So if we change the frequency here, let's see, I'll drop this down. So see how they got farther apart? I went down to 96 hertz. But if I go up, see they get closer together, 196, and I'm going to go to 296, they get even closer together. So how scrunched they are is basically the hertz, and the higher you go, the more scrunched they are together. So just keep that in mind. So when I'm doing my testing, I'm just going to keep the 196 hertz note going, which I believe is G, and so you won't see that change. You may see the smoothness of the wave change, and that's really just distortion. So as it gets distorted, it'll change that wave up. And if you want to know more about that, there's also an FFT on here where you can see all the different frequencies and subharmonics and all that make the note. And it shows that a little better than this does. But for now, all we're really worried about is we can see the frequency here, which should stay consistent in the tests. And then we'll actually have the amplitude, which will say how much output is going, and that'll be the volume and so forth. And the amplitude is how the note changes from top to bottom. So the farther up and down this is, the greater the volume is, and then if it shrinks, the less the volume is. So that's really what we're looking at now, because we want hopefully a consistent volume with each of the pedals, and then a consistent boost. So if you look right over here in the small, I'll be pointing out this up here, and that's your volts peak to peak. Right now it's at 50 millivolts. So that's basically saying, from here to here, it's 50 millivolts. And of course, as I turn the gain up, I can go ahead and try to do that down here. As I turn that up, you'll see how that gets larger, and the waveform gets taller and lower. And now it's over to, if you can see that, it's 80 millivolts. And so that's really what we're going to be paying attention to. We don't really worry about the frequency because it's always going to be the same. But we're going to look at that peak to peak volume change. And then consistently over the channels, I want to see, the non-boost channels being, I think 130 is what we're going to have at as a default. And then as we hit the boost, it's going to go up to 160. And then we'll verify if that's enough boost. If not, maybe we'll try 180 for the boost millivolts, and then we can just change all the boost channels to a consistent 180, and then see if we can get more of a consistent volume for everything. And I have another guitar player in the band. I want to do the same with his so that it can be kind of a consistent setup. And like I said, I don't know if that'll work yet, but that's what I'm going to try. I think it seems to be at least a number more than just listening to it and thinking, is that louder or not? But yeah, so that's really what I'm going to be looking at, is just the waveform getting bigger, but more specifically, that number right there, that peak to peak, on what the value is. So hopefully this little pre-video, have that make more sense. So today, I'm working with my guitar pedal here. I have this quad Cortex pedal here. And the issue I have is, well actually if we go here, I have different settings for heavy rock, classic rock and stuff. But the big difference I have is, say I have these 3 channels here. The first channel is a clean channel, then it's distortion, and then it's my boost channel. So basically it's a boost here, and this is standard distortion, and that's clean. The problem I have though is from each pedal I press, the volume, obviously from normal to boost, it changes quite a bit, but it's inconsistent for all the items, and it's really hard to kind of ear it out. So I wanted more of a scientific, technical way to try the differences. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually hooking up to my oscilloscope. So what I have is I'm going to go through each of these channels and make sure, of course, to clean the distortions about the same volume, and then the boost at least is a steady boost for every channel. So if the volts, the decibels go up by so much, I want each of the boosts the same so that I don't have to keep adjusting it on stage and so forth. So here's what I'm going to do. So I have my pedal here, I have the input signal right here, and I have the out export, and I'll show you where that goes here. So the import, sorry for the messy setup here, I have a Rigel wave generator here, and it's setting out 196 Hertz, which for those familiar, that's a G. So that sends out to the coax here, and if we come all the way here, put on the tuner, and as you can see, it's a perfect G. So it's kind of cool. So we have a G note going into there. I'm going to try it with different notes too to see if maybe they're different loudnesses. I wouldn't see a huge difference in that since it's just frequency, not amplitude. Yeah, so we're going to try that anyway. And then from there we have the output going over to here, and I have this little kind of converter box, a tester, but the XLR is going in here, and then it goes into these banana plugs, which I have the oscilloscope plugged in, and then I go over to here, and then we have the oscilloscope. And now see, there's nothing there because I have the tuner muted, so I'm going to unmute it here and hopefully it'll jump to life. There you go. So that's obviously not just going to be a straight G note. There's also some the distortion pedal and some other stuff going on there, so it's not going to be perfect. But there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and try some stuff here. So if I come over here again, sorry for the dizziness, and let's get out of the tuner. Actually, hit that. Alright, so I'm going to go to the clean channel here, and then I'm going to go to the volume, which is up here, and now I'm going to take you back over the oscilloscope, and if you can see that up there, we've got some 126 millivolts peak to peak. I'm going to adjust the volume here, the master volume, which is this one. Yep. So, as you can see, if I increase it, see how it gets bigger? And you can see that's a clean channel too. See how clean that signal is? Let's take it to 130. Let's try that. And it's not going to be exact. There's 134. I'm going to take it just a little under, but 130 will be my standard. Alright, so I'm going to save that one, and we'll see how this works out. Now I'm going to go to the distortion channel. You see it gets distorted. Then I'm going to go to my amp here. Again, I'm going to take you over here real quick. So here's my amp, and then here's all my controls here. And so we have, I'm just doing the master volume, which is right here, 7.3 now, and I can change it down to 7 and so forth by rotating these. I'll take you over here again, and look, it looks like it's, hopefully you can see that, 129.8 millivolts, so we're gonna bump it up. Ooh, 129, 130. Right around there. Looks like good. Bump it up one more, 129, 30. This one's a little more touchy. See, 130. This one's more exact. So yeah, we're gonna make that one with 129, 30 in that volume. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna go switch over. I'm gonna save that. I'm going to go to the heavy distortion channel, and you see how it gets bigger. And our volts peak to peak is 160. I'm not sure how many millivolts of a boost I want and how that will go to decibels in the amp. But for now, I'm thinking maybe if we do 30, that would be good. Oop, I don't want to adjust that one. Let me go to the amp here. So if we go to master, which is way over here, okay, it's cranked pretty good. If I crank it up one more, it goes 63. Let's just make it 30 to be safe. So there it goes. It's kind of floating around 160, which is 30 above the 130. So let's try that. Okay. So now I'm going to go to another channel. This is the heavy rock channel. Let's go to standard rock. And let's go to the clean channel. And we have 44, which is a lot lower, as you can see quickly. Let's go to master. Let's crank that up to 130. Let's keep it a little below. It's better to go below and clean, I think. Alright, there we go. Gonna save that one. This might be a lost cause, but I hope this will make it pretty standard, because ear can be kind of confusing sometimes. It's hard to tell. Let's go to standard distortion. Let's go to the amp settings. Let's find the master volume, which is way over here, and we have, 132, look at that. That's nice. Is that, I don't know if I'm adjusting everything there, am I? I am, okay. Oh yeah, it's changing, okay, we're good. So, 129, 130, that's probably good right there. Cool. Alright, let's go to the boost. Go to the amp. And master's over there. It should be up to 160, it's 188. Okay, hopefully I'm not doing too little boost. Okay, I'm going to call that, I'm going to bump it slightly up. There we go. Alright, cool. That is it. So now we'll have to do a test on it and see if that works here. I'll show you something here. So yeah, so now I'm going to run this through an actual amp and see what the sound changes, see if I need more of a boost. Sometimes just doing it by myself, the boost doesn't, it seems okay, but then you go in a live band and you need more of a boost. But then I can equally crank everything up with a setup, you know, an equal 10 or 20 millivolts or whatever. But yeah, this is a 12 string one, so if you look here, I've got some other, that's a guitar cab. Pretty cool setup here, I like these, I like this. Oh, there you go, the poly. So yeah, it kind of gives it a 12 string feel without having a 12 string, but it works pretty good. Alright, cool. Well, we'll go ahead and plug it in and see the sound differences and see if we need to adjust it. Alright, so now we have our setup here with the speaker. So right now I have it at the frequency of 293.6, which appears to be around D, or at least pretty close. I turned the volume way down because it's getting kind of annoying, and I apologize, you're going to hear an annoying tone for most of this video here. But that's what I have going into it. And if you look over here, I have it muted, but it's almost 0.3 away from a perfect D here. So I can adjust that frequency, and you're going to get the note. Let's just go ahead and do that to see what, see how that works. So if I go over here, and maybe if I add a point, so if I change this down 5, well, it's going farther away. So if I go to 2.7, oh, look at that. So 293.7, let's go 8, goes a little high. So yeah, 293.7 hertz seems to be pretty close to that D right there, as you can see. So we're going to do that D note, and I'm going to unmute it, and you can just kind of get a warning here for the sound. Turn your headphones down. I want to blow out your ears. And there you go. And then there's the speaker right here playing that noise. And I have that turned down as well. So what I'm going to do now is change the frequencies. I'm going to get out of the tuner. We can see that okay here. And now I got it on 60s. Let's go down to, wow, okay. So we got heavy rock here. So yeah, see, it's, if we go to clean, you can hear it's not very loud. So if we go here, we got that. But if we go to standard, those were the same setups, remember, the same output, but look how much louder that is. So I'm not sure why that is, but I'm going to double check to see what's going on there. But the different frequencies seem to be treated differently. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So it's like you can't just really measure the volts. I don't think it's the same. So if we go to standard, now if we go to boost, that definitely gives it a big boost. So is that going to be consistent though? Let's see. Okay. These should be the same, and they're not. But that boost is definitely there. Let's go to a different channel. So, see, I can barely hear the clean if I go just normal. Okay. So it's probably hard. It's probably filtering all that sound out, but it went from like, I can barely hear that, to if I go to normal. And now I'm going to go to boost. So it's not very consistent. So it seems like that waveform, we can't really just depend on that. So I'm gonna have to think of something else to do. All right, just another test here. I have one of these little tiny speaker things that just kind of like make a buzzing sound here. Really cheap here. I'm trying this on the oscilloscope and see how I'm clicking my fingers and you actually get some stuff going on. So these actually seem to be nice. Yeah, the piezo speakers or whatever these are. I think they just, like I said, make a tone or a buzz, or not really a full audio speaker for speech or anything. We're going to go ahead and see if I can zoom in there and get anything better on that. Okay. So yeah, see how you're actually getting some waveforms there. That's a little better. Okay, so let's set it right here. Let's do a single shot. If I click my fingers. Ooh, look at that. Now I can get the zoom I need here. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So simple may be better. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can set a max for that. Let's go here, measure. Let's just hit the measure button too. Peak to peak. There we go. And now it's up to like 10 millivolts, a little better. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna go try to use this. All right, so here's the setup I have now. So to explain this a little bit, we have a signal generator here doing the 2.9 or 293.7 hertz, sending a tone out to this green cable, which then goes into the quad cortex. Yeah, right now you can see that frequency is playing a D. I have it muted. And then from there, I have it going out the XLR into this powered monitor. And that will be playing a noise when I unmute it. And then I have two items here. I have a dB meter right here that'll be reading max. And then I have that piezo speaker here hooked up to the oscilloscope. And it'll hopefully show a note here. So let's go ahead and run that and see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute it. Should be pretty quiet. There we go. So it's not seeing anything. Let me turn this meter on. Oh, light. Okay. Let me hold it maybe this way. Kind of put it equal. There we go. And then put it on max. So it'll show the max as I talk. You can see it goes up. Alright, so let's go ahead and check over here, maybe zoom in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing off over here. See if it's still getting a signal. It is. Now if we go to measure over here, and we're doing peak to peak, and then close this. Now if we go down here, nope, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, down here, you can see closely it has the max right there at 1.823. So hopefully if I make some noise there. See how it changes it? You can see how it went up a little bit. Yep, there you go. So it does go up a little bit, which is good. So it's keeping track of the highest. So we're gonna go ahead and clear those out though. There's a clear button here. And it cleared them out. Okay, cool. So now, let's go ahead and turn the speaker up and try it from there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and clear everything out again, and I'll write down these numbers and do the next one. So we had that 1.87 and about 80 for decibels. So at this point, I don't think, like I said, hooking it up to that. We could also try a speaker, or not a speaker, but a microphone another time, but at least I thought I could kind of use these little speakers that I had to see it, but it doesn't seem to be working very well or accurately with that. So yeah, I failed on that part, but it looks like the dB, like I said, this meter here is really the way to go, but we'll go ahead and go through all the channels and test that out. So at this point, I'll leave the oscilloscope going. I'll keep the steady D note going. So let's go ahead and try the other channels. Do the same thing and leave it in the same spot, of course. Let's turn the light on here. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go to, we did D and C at 80 decibels. And oh, still there. So great. All right, that was the high channel. So it sometimes defaults to the boost channel and so forth. That's why we got that. At this point, let's go ahead and change this here. Let's change the output till it gets up to that 80. There we go. So I'm going to save that. Again, we're just getting all the clean channels. Now, when I switch, it may go to that distortion channel. So I try to be quick about it. There we go. All right. So now we're on the clean channel here. And it looks like we need to turn the output up a little bit. Until we get to, here we go. Cool. All right. Yep, it went back down again. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it went back down again because I was talking. All right. That's probably what spiked it, so we'll do the output. No, I guess we're back. All right, cool. All right, so I save those. Now we're going to go ahead, go to the distortion channels. Now those might be pretty loud, so I'll try to quickly change that. Let's go ahead and start with standard rock. And I'm going to get the volume ready right now of the output, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn it way down. And then switch the channel and do it that way so we don't blow the speakers out here. Alright, there we go, much better. Alright, so what do we have for an output? We have 89. We'll give it a little boost for that non-clean channel there. Nope, maybe bump it down again. Yeah, I got like negative 19.7 decibel output, so that's pretty close. All right. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and save that. And actually, while we're here, why not just go to the next distortion channel for the lead channel. And again, we want a steady. It's going to be louder because that's our boost channel. So we're going to do it steady and find out what that steady is, and then we can go changes, and then we can go through the other channels. So I'm going to pre-put this down right now so we don't blow out anything. I'm just going to crank it all the way down. There we go. All right. Switch the channel. Still louder. differences. I'm trying to listen by ear. There's an 80. That's pretty much louder. Let's do a 10 decibel boost. Okay, let's call that good. So we're testing at 80, 90. Works pretty good, pretty consistent for that channel. All right, so here we are again. I have my guitar plugged in, somewhat tuned. We're going to go ahead and try some of these channels here. Actually, probably start off with the main one here. All right, so standard rock. So we're going to try the clean. And now remember, the decibels will not be the same because the signal I sent through was a pretty low volume one, and my guitar is higher output than that. So, you know, the decibels will be different. So right now, I'm going to play, actually I'm going to do a max since it's very inconsistent, and then play and then show you what it says. All right, so if I look at it now, we had a max of 97.9. Let's turn the light on here. Sorry about that. 97.9. Hopefully you can see that. All right, so now we're going to hit the boost. And not the boost, but just the rock channel here and see if it stays the same. Actually, I'm just going to keep it on 97.9 max and just see if it goes above that. And it did not. It's much quieter though. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this and see what our new one is. Okay, let's do this again. Alright, so now it's only at 92.8. So interesting. So it still sounds a lot more quiet. Even though it was a standard with that D note. So, yeah, it doesn't seem to work very well. Let's just check the boost though. So we got 92.8, and we had I think 97 for the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the boost and see what we get. Interesting. That is actually less again. So we're going to go ahead and take the max off. I want to see what the max is, and I'll play that boost again. All right, look, that was with the, if I did chords, it was less. It's like 88, 89. So yeah, that does not correspond with the other, with just using the, you know, the D note. So I guess we're going to have to do decibels perhaps, but do it with actually playing the guitar and seeing the maximum. Yeah. So let's go through this whole process again. Let's get a bass line, or at least get somewhat of a bass line with
the clean channel. So we got clean channel, we're going to go like this, and I'm going to hit the max button. Man, that is loud. That's up to like 91.7 for clean. So we're going to turn that down. Sorry about that. All right. Wow. Okay. I'm going to turn the master down here. Oh, here's the max. All right, we're getting about 96 max. So we're going to go ahead and put the master down. This is a clean channel, so that's all right. And you try to have to strum it the same, but it does act different. $95.8. Take this down, the output a little bit. Try it again. $97 decibels. Okay. Okay, 97. All right. All right, so about 97-ish. So now we're going to go to the other channel. That's good. Oh, now this is about 97. So, yeah. Hit max. Hey, look at that, 97.8. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna save this. Yeah, that channel's already good. And yeah, I got negative on that one, man. All right, so we're really cranking the outputs down. I almost want to change the output to 0 for the clean channel and then adjust otherwise here, and then I can change that volume. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's change this to 0 again. All right, so we're gonna have to measure the dBs again. That is not the right channel. All right, let's try this again. All right. Reset that. All right. All right. So yeah, we got about 99 there. That's good. All right, let's switch. Make sure this is 0. And all right, let's go to this channel now and see what we have. All right, about 98, so we can put that up just a little more. So let's go ahead and use this. Use 15. See if the master changes. All right, about 99.6-ish. I think that's close enough. All right, so we're going to save that one. And we're going to test between the channels again. Just like to save it. Okay. Yep. sounds a little more bright, which kind of pierces the ear more and clean, but the decibels are about the same. All right, let's go to lead channel now. This will be a little more challenging. So now we have, what, 99 for both channels, and then we'll see what the lead is. A lot quieter. All right. We're just going to keep the max on and keep playing a note until that gets up to maybe over 100. Sorry, I'm not playing a note. I'm just doing open strings because I have multiple hands here. All right, 100. Now let's see what that sounds like to our ear and see if that's good. But again, let's see, take this off. All right, let's hear the difference. I think that's fair enough. And let's see what this does if I hit max. 97.3. Then I go up to about 98. Right, the higher notes tend to hit it more, so we're going to try that again with higher notes. That's getting up to about 99 when I do that. That's about 99.9. Boost. 101. Okay. So set that. So we got about 99 for the lower and 101 for the top, which is only 2 decibels difference, but seems to make a lot of sound difference. Alright, so we're going to call that, see how that sounds, do that. So 99, 101, okay. Alright, so now let's go ahead and save this. And actually, I'm going to put it to this channel. Because if you do that, I think it remembers what channel you are, so I don't have to keep, yeah. If I save it here, it'll keep it on this channel. Yep. And it just makes it easier to practice, so I'm going to, or to switch in here. So I'm going to save all these to this channel and save. Now let's double check. Still see that? Yep. So now when I go ahead and change this, it should always be on that first rock channel. Great. Okay. Let's see how they are first. That's way too quiet. Let's see how many decibels that is, though. Oh, that's 97, so I need to quiet that one down anyway. All right. Whew, okay. Yeah, that's up to 99, so let's go ahead and reset this. Okay. Now that's good. I'm going to hit max to make sure. It's about 91. Okay, let's try that. See what the difference is here. Wow. And that is very interesting, because see what happens now. I'm on this first channel. And the gain is all the way up to 96.9, which it wasn't before. Let's see. Interesting. So the dB meter is giving me all sorts of weird stuff. If I go clean. Yeah, it's all the way up to 95. Now if I go to this one. 95. And remember it was 80, what? 89 before? Or 90, 91? So now it's even louder than before. Huh. All right. Well, this is not being very consistent. So, that being said, I think I'm going to have to do this a whole different way, because the decibels just seem to be all over the place. At least with this meter. I'm using a Reed R8 8050. So, well, I'm going to do this a different way then. I'm just going to go back and just do it by ear again. So, all right, let's try this again now. Let's see. Noisier too. Let's try something here too. I think that clean channel can get a little noisier too. There we go. A little better. That's pretty good. All right, so there we go. So that sounds pretty good. So really, the decibel meter didn't really help much. Seeing the peak-to-peak volts maximum and seeing what the top is, and adjusting it on the oscilloscope directly from the XLR the XLR cable didn't work. So really, in the end, it's all about the ear. And really, you should use the equipment too. I used the headphones and tried it, and then I used this this monitor here that's more close to what the amp is, the main amp. So you just have to really try it with your equipment and just compare each channel over and over and over, and just keep trying it by ear until you get it right. So there's no quick, easy process that I'm familiar with. So just keep working at it, and just sit down, an afternoon and keep trying all the channels, compare the volumes, and then of course the show is a big test too, to make sure that your jump from regular distortion to lead is loud enough to stick out in front when you need it. So that's the next thing I'll need to do, is in practice just try it out and hit that lead and see if it has the perfect volume increase, and keep with that. And some other things to consider too are your other bandmates. So if they play louder, your guitar player plays louder or changes their pedal board, that may change things as well. So just keep consistent. Obviously, if I need to get louder, I can turn the amp up louder. I wouldn't adjust these. You want to use more of your volume control because that adjusts everything equally. But if you just do the the settings, of course, you're going to mess everything up again. So just use this volume control and your amp volume control, and make sure the other guitarist and so forth does the same thing. So hopefully, obviously a lot of frustration to get here, but in the end, just use your ear and just go over all the different settings you have and make sure they're equal that way, and that the boost is what you need for each channel. And that's really it. Just hard work to test it out. If you have any other ideas of better ways to do it, please let me know. Thanks.